award given by Toastmasters, those who achieve advanced excellence. I think this is more than enough to introduce our next speaker, which is distinguished Toastmaster,
Okay, good evening TMI East Coast.
Good evening.
Congratulations on 160 meetings. Huh? There was a time when we used to celebrate the mainstream times dates, 25, 50, 100, 150, and then for the first time in the last 10 years or so, I attended a 80th meeting session, and they called it milestone, and they sold the idea to us. The person sitting right here, Kanchan, that was her club, and now TMI East Coast is doubling it, 160th milestone. But you know what it means? It means 160 weeks of excellence. 160 weeks of effort, rain or shine. And I'm sure there would have been meetings where there would have been only 3 people. Right? You, me and a mosquito. And still you would have conducted the meetings there. Have you ever done anything in your life for 160 weeks continuously? That's how difficult it is. So, rituals first. Big round of applause to your own club. Very well. At this point, a hat tip to everybody who laid the foundation stone for your club. From Hugh, who is a great friend of mine, all the jokes when you can imagine when you see a name called Hugh, he used to say, Raghav, yeah, that joke is fine, go ahead. From then until the newest member, whoever is the newest member now, thank you for keeping this meeting running. Today we are going to talk a little bit about leadership, about what I have learned about leadership from this very forum. Now I am very bad at maths, unlike our champion Satya. So I don't know how many days it has been. I know I joined Toastmasters way back in February 2012. How many of you are not even born then? Session, not your third child. I'm asking about you. No, but it's been so long. But I get asked the question, and even today Kanchan was asking, why did you join? Why do you want to even leave? Right? The reason why I joined, I'm still discovering that. But I remember very well that when every time I entered the Toastmasters meeting, the excitement, right? It was like relishing your favorite food. The happiness and joy of taking a bite of the food that you look at her eyes, it's like she's already imagining what's your favorite food now. Yeah, you could almost see it. That's how I felt every time I have entered, and every time I have left a meeting, it's given me something to take back home in my pocket. I go home, open the pocket, there is something that falls out. So for the last 10, 12 years, I've been dabbling in a little bit of leadership, not even professionally, but just personally, and I've learned something all through. I'm going to share with you some things of what I learned. Okay? And I'm going to ask you all the question that you have been asked many times, I'm sure. What do you think? Are leaders born or are leaders made?
Made.
When you say made, raise your hands. Okay, good. So Charan, it's a gold ring. Okay. What you were looking at your face and okay, here is a gold ring. Please make a tungsten filament out of it. Or if you can't, it's a defeat. I'm a little scared. You also said made, right? Leader, no? Shut. The excitement in your eyes is. But yeah, if you think leaders are made, can you make a tungsten filament from a gold ring?
If we sell it, if that money, I think we can.
Right. I myself am a great fraud. Really, you don't try all this, okay? But hey, I am not answering the question. I am asking you a counter question. If many of you had said born, I would have made another joke out. So that's the role of a speaker on stage, right? But while all of us have an answer, the one thing that I learned about leadership, it's never black or white. There is no one way or the other. There is the way that works and there is the way that doesn't work. Can you give a formula? I can't. I have failed more number of times than I have succeeded. But hey, if you can take one message back today to your homes from this particular segment in the next 20 minutes, it is this. Leadership is never about this or that. It's always about what works that day or not. Raghavan, what works that day? I don't know. That's why I get to be the educational speaker. Whatever I can say, no. But hey, it's never born or made. It's not like, and of course, I can of course argue against the point of made. It's not like when Mahendra Singh Dhoni was born. The nurse picked up and said, hello madam, here is your son, he will bring 2 World Cups to the country. No, that's not how it happens. But if you sort of discount and say leaders are only made, you are selling yourself short. Sometimes leadership is born. And if you really say leaders are only born, I can never be a leader in my life. Because I was born crying, Amma. So, one message, if you take home, you take it home. And I want to actually take another hat tip to a few gentlemen who really changed the way I look at life itself. This was way back in 2018, Asatya. 2018. Accidentally, and there is no false modesty here, accidentally, I landed up in the district finals of the international speech contest for the very first time. I say accidentally because I had a great script and I was in peak speaking form. When Raghavan spoke in 2018, you will fall in love with him. You will give him a love letter. It was so good, right? So very good. But that day the competition was equally good. And in the division finals, only the first place winner goes through. Yeah, and I was having a good performance, but so did 7 others. I needed something. I needed the winning edge. Some soul in the audience, I still don't know who, when I was talking about not being ready for marriage and saying I don't want to get married, that is how the speech starts, and then eventually at the end, I will tell you about the speech later. Eventually at the end I said, now I am married and I have a 2-year-old daughter. Somebody in the audience clapped, one person. And I was like, oh yeah, please clap, all my effort only. And then the entire audience burst out laughing, and that X factor took me to the victory. While I won that stage, I realized the big problem. I had not booked my flight tickets. The finals was happening in Sri Lanka. I had not booked a hotel room. So I didn't think I would win. So now I had landed up in the finals and I needed a room to stay. All the rooms were booked in that hotel. And basically they were saying, figure it out. And then came Satya, and he is a contestant himself. Well planned, meticulous, properly point and shoot on. So they said, okay, our room is anyway free, come join us. So it started in 2018, the friendship and the relationship with Satya, and since then I've looked up at him figuratively, literally also, because of Satya. That's how it's always been. And then our watershed moment came in 2022. I won the International Speech Championship, Satya won the Humor Championship. Till now, that's the only trophy in my cabinet. Satya has 7, 8. So, but we both took that picture where he is holding my trophy and I am holding his. And from there, we have joined 2018, this was 2022, right? And then 2025 happened. I wouldn't include Satya in this sentence, but we have reached a space where Satya, everybody in the district knows Satya. He has mentored 1,25,333 people. People just look up at him and we're just calling him. And just as he has reached that veteran tag and okay, what next? There are always some other people who sort of push you and keep you on your toes, right? And so the next breed of champions have come in and they are constantly pushing us. And if you see, there is one extra person in this picture now who is really pushing us, who is giving us sleepless nights, who is telling us, hey guys, we are getting old, we want to get off the stage because we are coming in. And I see 2 of them, 3 of them actually sitting girl power, but Isha has been there. And she's in your club, leading you forward. I know she's been one of the biggest influences to having this meeting run. So Isha, thank you. It's been a joy. Competing against you, with you, and watching Isha go onto the podium 2025 Discover would remain very, very special moment in my journey, in all of our journeys, because I know when we had challenged people before us and they told us, hey, yaar neenga, what are you guys doing around here? And now it's you. All the very best, Ish. May you really go on to get more and more trophies. So do you, Kanj. All the very best as you go forward. So why did I talk about that in leadership? Because every day in leadership is a journey. And there are always going to be people around you who will teach you something. And if you can be happy that they are teaching you, you will be the best leaders in the world. How many of you have had managers in your life? Managers. How many of you have leaders in your life? That person that you're thinking of right now, I can see him in your eyes. That person who is not just a manager, who is a leader. How do you go from being a manager to a leader? That's what we will see today. Okay? And let me ask you the first question. Describe a good leader. Who do you think is a good leader? One who can listen. Yeah, one who can listen. Okay, brilliant. Yes. Something else?
One who can bring the best out of even a mediocre team.
Brilliant. There is no such thing as a mediocrity. A team is always great, but yeah, one who can bring out the best in people and a team.
One who can influence.
One who understands. Brilliant. Yes, Kanch?
One who can influence.
One who can influence, and I know positively, of course, not work on Pongal days, ditch those leaders. But yes, Satya.
One who prepares his successor.
One who prepares. One of the biggest leadership lessons I was taught. It's not part of the script, but the leader of my life, he told me, Raghavan, leaders are not those who create followers. Leaders are those who create leaders. That's gone on to define who I have been as a person. Tomorrow, if I bunk office, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. People may not even miss me, and because of that, they will never fire me. Erickson, I hope you're listening. You won't fire me. I don't know. Okay, yes.
Leads with an example.
Who stands by as an example, right? Who leads the way, shows the way, goes the way, and follows the way. So,
One who follows first and then shows the path to others.
Brilliant, yeah. One who walks the talk, sir.
Who exhibits empathetic behavior.
Brilliant, who exhibits empathy, right? Good. All of you know a session done by. Thank you for having me here. But yeah, let's see. Let's play a game. Okay, how many of you have seen this movie? And at this point, to Victor, Isha, and Kanchan, my deepest condolences. You're watching this session for the second time. Anybody else here who has seen this session of mine before? No? No? Okay, good. Yes. Man, you're out of syllabus. Okay, but yeah, I will still try to spice it up so that nobody gets left out. But you have seen this movie?
Yeah.
What is this movie called? Bahubali, right? And do you recognize these three characters? This is, by the way, the senior Prabhas. Okay. By the way, what happened to that guy? After this movie, has never looked good. Neither in person nor in movies. But yeah, these are three people, right? Senior Bahubali, Rana, everybody was Ballal Dev, and then Kattappa. To you, who among these three is a better leader? Kattappa, right? How many say Kattappa? Yeah, good. Please be fair. Okay, Kattappa, okay. What else? Anybody voting for Prabhas, who looks good and looks not that at least? Okay. There's a gentleman right there. What's your name, Prana? Naren. Why do you like Bahubali? Why do you think he's a better leader? Okay, think on it. Okay, okay. Any votes for Rana? Poor guy, he fights a bull and all. Okay, but good. Who said Kattappa? Sandhya, you said Kattappa, right? Why?
So you were there to be the new leaders in that particular
Come again?
You were there.
He was there.
To protect the good ones.
To protect the good ones. You know, when Rajamouli wrote the script,
He was not there.
he did not write that Kattappa protected good people. Kattappa, okay, we will talk about Kattappa, but that's your, Satya, why Kattappa?
Because he never let anyone down.
Brilliant, he never let anyone down, okay. Any other Kattappa fans here? No, okay. Some of you said Bahubali, ma'am, you said Bahubali, why?
I said that Prabhas
Yeah, of course.
because he was leading with the example, helping with the guys, and
Brilliant, yeah, he was leading the way, yes sir.
Yeah, in the first fight. So when Ramya Krishna tells that a person is a king who not only leads him but he protects his people.
Brilliant.
In the first fight he protects his people, then he attacks the building.
Wonderful,
So
wonderful.
that shows leadership.
Wonderful. Okay. Any other answers for why Bahubali is a better leader? Yes, ma'am.
Because Anushka's brother, he will say, you are a man who can do it.
Right.
He doesn't believe himself in himself. He will make me believe and with that.
He gives that small sword and says courage, right? Great. Yes, Kanch. No, not attempting.
The thing is, in one of his songs, in spite of him not being the king, he would still listen to the problems of people.
Fair enough.
So
Fair
even-
enough. Yeah,
even
somebody
when
who
he
listens,
goes-
right? Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, now I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate, okay? I will come to Katappa first. Let's see what Katappa did actually, yeah? Katappa was the antithesis to one of the points that came, right? Leaders create the next set of leaders. Katappa is the Talapati, right? He is the number one in the army. Who after Katappa? And you know what Katappa does, right? You say protect good people, what does Katappa do? Goes and stabs Bahubali. Not even in the front, from the back. Hey, I'm sorry, Macha. And then he goes to Ramya and like, hey, blood on your hands. Arappa, you killed him. What did I do? So, and at the end, what happens is Katappa is supposed to be loyal to the kingdom. Someone who looks like Bahubali just comes and says, I am the heir to the throne. He leads a coup. He leads a revolt against the king and says some skewed logic to Rana, saying, I am supposed to be the savior of the kingdom. You are not the heir, he is the heir. That entire Bahubali only crowned you king. No, Rana was crowned king by Bahubali only. It's not like it happened behind closed doors. So, while of course he is one of the people who inspired so many, would you want him to be your manager? In your workplace, do you want Katappa to be your boss? When things go south, hey, you know what, Sesh? Budget cuts, man. I'll let you go. Yeah, not even to your face. Sesh goes for his lunch, comes back. Sesh, please give me your ID card. Would you want that boss? Let's talk about Bahubali. The man who's the lion, right? Imagine that scene. All the scenes you have said, but do you remember that court scene where Bahubali's wife is standing trial? Yeah, she has apparently chopped off 4 fingers of a guy. Who does that? You chop off 4 fingers of that guy, right? And she's standing trial. The entire kingdom is there watching the trial happen. Imagine you are there, ma'am, with our little prince in one corner. And then what happens? Bahubali walks by you. And you're like, goosebumps are all coming. That perfume, that walk, that lion's roar. He walks, he goes to the stage, and then something happens, he speaks. You don't hear anything. And then right there in the center of it all, he takes a sword and cuts off someone's head in cold blood. And you're still there. Your son is still running. And he's just witnessed a murder. Princely act. And hey, someone said he stands up for people, protects people. You know what happens to Bahubali? He is given the head of the army force. His wife speaks bad to the Rajamata, and he loses that also. And 3 days later, he's next to you pumping water. What use was Bahubali to the kingdom in the entire movie? Do you want Bahubali to be your boss? Someone who had the power, who didn't know to play politics at all, who used 0% of his capabilities. Let him down, let the country down, let his wife down. He lost his life also. Audience also no entertainment for half of the movie. Would you really want him to be your boss? Hey, Seshan, your job is in danger, so I will lose my job only. Some other manager will come take care of you. Would you want him to be your boss? Let's talk about the protagonist and the antagonist also here. Rana Daggubati, Balladev. You may not like his memes. But do you remember how Maheshmati is introduced to you in the movie? She's either lost in the biryani or in Bahubali. Yeah. There is nothing better than this for a speaker when an audience is lost in thought. I can see engagement in your eyes. But remember Rana Dalbad, remember Maheshwari, the kingdom. Those of you who have watched the movie, you know how it is introduced? A kingdom that is flourishing. There is abundance of resources, beautifully constructed buildings. There is slavery. Sure, in that time slavery is normal. We are also slaves today in our workplace. You have to wear your ID card to work, no? There was slavery back then. But the trade was flourishing. People were happy, people were rich, and in decades, not even one attack from any other army around them. Nobody dared enter the kingdom. A leader knows the way, goes the way, shows the way. You know how you are introduced to Rana? Muscular man fighting a bull. You want him to be your boss? When push comes to shove, I don't care how you became a leader, man. Can you protect me? Can you stop the bull from reaching me? Can you make sure my salary is not touched? Hey, why do you care what politics Rana played? If a leader can't handle the power in politics, what use is he to you? Leadership. It's not as easy as you think. So Raghavan, do you think Rana is the best leader? You will never know my answer. I am not telling you. If all of you had said Rana, I would have argued against him. Like I said, I am a speaker. I can say whatever I want. But can you think? If you think leadership is about being soft, if you think leadership is only about people, if you think leadership is about rules, if you think leadership is about being the most liked person, go sell ice creams. Leadership needs a little bit of nastiness also. So who is the better leader? I don't know. But here is the message. Whoever you thought is the better leader, hold on to it. Because that is who you are. If you associate yourself with Katappa, you are the warrior. You do the everyday job well. You do what you are told. You do it really well. You demand a following. It's great. It's a good style to be. Because there are people who will say Katappa is the better leader. If you like Bahubali, so be it. Because hey, Bahubali inspired people, right? I can argue for, I know it was so powerful against Bahubali, but I'll tell you, one mention of his word, the entire kingdom came together and pulled that statue upwards. You remember that scene? Oh, as a child, when I saw that scene, it left a lasting impact on me. Rana's statue comes and then back behind that big statue of Bahubali, that's who he has been. So even if he died, he's been a great leader. So who you think is a good leader is a good leader. But don't be very firm in your definitions, because leadership is not there. It's right. So, I became so dramatic and everything. But I'll tell you 5 qualities. Because Sandhya has clearly told me, Raghavan, practical tips. Umma this Bahubali and all you don't say. I want practical tips only. If it is impractical, that sandwich you have to give me back and go on. So 5 practical tips that you can sort of sharpen a little bit to be better leader yourself, right? Okay, I switched it off. Technology. You use it well, it works well. Yeah. So the first quality each of us can work on, sharpen a little bit, starts with the letter L. How many of you like treasure hunt? Kanna, do you like treasure hunt? Do you know what treasure hunt is? We are going to play a treasure hunt, okay? Wow. Every letter you see in capital letter, note it down. It will lead us to a treasure at the end, okay? With me? Super. Okay. So even for you, note down every letter in caps and we'll get there sometime. The first quality of a great leader starts with the letter L. What do you think it is?
Listening.
Sorry?
Listening.
Yeah, very close. Sorry? Learning.
Loyalty.
Loyalty. Close. You want your boss to be loyal to you. Wake up, bacha. Okay?
Leading.
Yeah, leading what?
Leading.
Oh, leading. Okay, nice touch. Yeah, good try.
Lend a ear.
Sorry, ma'am?
Lend a
ear. Listening, what English translation. Okay, any other attempts? Leaders don't think about today. They have done thinking about today long back. If you want to be a leader, think of what you are doing today and what will be the result of it tomorrow. Anything you do, Whether you are cooking, whether you are at work, creating that Excel sheet, writing bid documents for your work, whatever you are doing it for today. Sure, be attentive there, but think of what this is going to do tomorrow. To you, to others, to everyone you are leading. Because great leaders are unbelievable visionaries. Only when you think of tomorrow, you will learn to play in the grey zone to get a good result for tomorrow. Otherwise, you are a nice guy or a nice girl. Nice guys finished last. Rahul Dravid. That was harsh, but yeah, he never won the World Cup as a player, man. He did. Steve Waugh did. Perhaps the nastiest human being on the field. If you face off against the Ricky Pontings and Steve Waughs of this world, you cannot win. They're on your face. That's why he needed a Saurav Ganguly. To sort of look back. I don't know how many of you know this reference from past, but if you are a nice guy, people will like you. That's it. So always look ahead. See what you can, what this will mean tomorrow. You set up a meeting today and you make sure the milestone is celebrated. What is this going to do tomorrow? 160th milestone celebrated so well, you call Satya and then he gives you an outstanding presentation that will give you mileage. Right? Do what tomorrow needs. Okay, that's the first quality. The second quality, and the clue is on screen, starts with the letter E.
Empathy.
There's a clue on screen. The picture. Yes, ma'am. Empathy? Close, not close.
Emotional intelligence.
Brilliant. It's called emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence?
Emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally or intelligent. Emotional intelligence is your ability to identify and respond to emotions. And in the corporate parlance, we say IQ gets you hired, EQ gets you promoted. How many of you have heard this trolley problem? Trolley problem, anybody? No, nobody. Okay, it's a great psychological knot. Okay, there is a trolley. Okay, there's a train engine, just a train. There is no driver inside. An accident has happened and the train is rolling forward at great speed. Okay, there is a track, it's rolling down at great speed. Right on the track, at the end of the track, there are 5 kids playing. 5 kids, okay? And then God has put you there in a place, there is a lever in front of you. If you pull this lever, the train will change track. But on the changed track, on the other track, there is one child playing. What will you do? In this example, you can't be Superman. Yeah? 5 versus 1. Yes, ma'am? What? You will pull the lever, okay? You can either pull the lever or not pull the lever, right? So what will you do? You will pull the lever, okay? Why, ma'am?
Between 5, better than.
Typical mother, right? One with great regret, of course, I hope. Don't smile so much. But yeah, I will pull the lever. Sure. What else will you do? Anybody else with another answer? I will not do anything. Sorry? No, yeah, you can't be Superman, Risha. You are not Rajnikant. Basically, you are not Rajnikant. Especially in this scenario, you can't do anything. Either pull it or don't pull it. You're thinking this is imaginary situation, right? God forbid you will never be put into that situation. But hey, we saw it happening. Karur, political parties rally, 41 people died. And the leader had a choice. Go visit them or go home. What would you have done? Let's assume Seychelles division conference happens. What happens? 200 people. No, but what would you do? You're going to a rally, people came to see you. If Seychelles comes, 2,000 people will come. If I go, 2 people will be there. But yeah, you are going there. It happened, no? This is a problem that was instated in 1960 and we all thought for the longest time, I thought for the longest time it was fashionable to put on a slide. Nobody can give the right answer, I can get away with it. But then it really happened. And the trauma of it is deep. There are people who really want to vote for this leader and there are people who hate this leader. There is no in-between. No? You are in one of these 2 camps, right? You either want to vote for that leader or you don't want to vote for that leader. I'm not talking politics, I'm asking your decision making and leadership. You saw a leader, 41 people died right in front of all of us and the leader made a choice. You can't question the leader's choice. There is no right or wrong answer, like I said at the beginning. But because of that choice, what happened to all of you? You are either for or against. You already might have had an answer, this reiterated it, whatever, right? So this does happen. So what does emotional intelligence have anything to do with it? If that specific leader had understood how the emotions were on the ground, maybe the decision would have been different. Whereas the leader actually thought of, okay, what would happen if I went? Not, okay, what has happened and should I do or not? He did not think about the tomorrow, he thought about today and yesterday. And therein you had a confusion. The same thing with the trolley problem. You don't have a choice. You know, in the eyes of law, you will be coined a murderer, either ways. Right? Because you pulled the lever, you murdered one person. So, courts will find you guilty. If you don't pull, the courts will still find you guilty because you have been accessory to a death. You could have acted, you could have saved 5 lives, you didn't. So, it's a thankless world. Emotional intelligence is exactly the same. Tomorrow I can give I have 10% kitty to share the hike between Victor and Sesh. If I give them both 5%, they will both be extremely disappointed. If I give him 7, if I give him 3, he will resign. If I gave him 7, I gave him 3, Sesh will resign, he will make 5 others resign also. Influential person. No? If I give all 10 to one person and 0 to another, I will be dead tomorrow. So there is, in leadership, you don't have any right option. Every year, all the leaders at workplace face this challenge. How many of you are leaders in the workplace who get to decide on people's journey? Yeah, I know Satya, hands are coming up. Haven't you faced this experience where one decision you make is going to make, sometimes you give an award to one good performer. 4 people are angry. Hey, how can you give him an award? You know how much bad things he did. So leadership is in the gray zone. Okay, so emotional, how do you develop it? Yeah, read books. When you read lives of more people, it will not help you much, of course, in terms of knowledge, but it will help you become a different personality. At least you learn to breathe with whatever decisions you have taken. I had a couple of examples, but we'll go forward. Now, the third quality of a great leader starts with the letter A. He's our little young champ following the treasure hunt. Yes or no? Treasure hunt follow the Okay, but yeah, the third quality of a great leader. Clue on screen.
Ask question.
Attitude, there's a clue. Ask, but ask what? One of the wives of Satya.
Ask why.
Brilliant. Ask why. A leader doesn't just follow norms, doesn't just follow the rules. He or she asks, hey, why is this happening? Again, it is the antithesis of what Satya taught us. Not to kill creativity, but to understand why you are doing what you are doing, right? So many of our rituals, right? Nowadays, there is it seems to be the only answer for, hey, why am I doing this? But I'll ask you a question. Those of you who know the answer, don't answer. But what do you see on screen? What is wrong with the picture on screen? It's inverted, right? It's inverted. Abdul says it's inverted, right? Abdul, why so?
So, except the world, everything is like upside down.
Yeah, I mean, the word is printed upside down, yeah? Sure.
There's nothing wrong with that one.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Find the images.
We were shown in a survey.
Good answer. But let me ask you, India is the largest country in the world. Do you think this is the 7th largest geometric figure in this map? Now you are right. There is nothing wrong with the picture at all. But since childhood you have seen this picture and accepted it as the world map, no? Do you think this is the 7th largest? Do you think Russia and China are really that big? Okay, which direction usually points upwards in the map? Why? Where is Santa Claus from? Yeah, what is it? Why? How many of you know Santa Claus? Yeah, I mean, right chance. See, in between doing a session, right? Audience engagement is mandatory, my mentor has said. So I asked quick questions in between. Yeah, Santa Claus, you know, right? He's from the North Pole. Why? Why is North always at the top? Why is Santa Claus from North Pole? Why not Adayar?
They named the top direction as north.
Why?
They named it.
Have you ever asked why? முன்னோர்களும் முட்டாளில்லை.
Compared to the South Pole, North Pole receives less sunlight.
North Pole is what?
Receives less sunlight. Like with the
Your first half of your sentence was almost telling me I love you, great answer. But yeah, one sentence you brought it down shattering. No. Compared to the South Pole, the North Pole is more accessible to Europeans. Europeans created Santa Claus. Closest to my house. Santa Claus is not there. Who created the world map? Europeans. They started navigating from the north, went round the world to the south and came back. So north is at the top. Have we ever asked why? And hey, why is India so small? Because the globe is a spherical image. When you want to draw a spherical image on a 2D paper, you have to smash it. No? When you smash it, the edges widen, the borders extend. That's why the geography is like it is. You can take this, print it out, and then paste it around a circular globe. That's why. Yet we never asked why. A great leader always asks why. Why should it be done this way? Why should in the Toastmasters meeting, prepared speech happen first, table topics next, evaluation next? Why should it be the sergeant at arms who opens? Ask. Maybe the person you're asking to may not know the answer. Session will go home and then quickly read. You what happened? Because tomorrow somebody will call. Yeah, but great leaders always ask why. With me till now? Practical enough? Yeah, ma'am? Okay. No, yellow me one and wherever I go, no, this problem chases me. Okay, timers don't forget. Now I'll accept only yellow. Okay, yeah, I take it. You have to give me a few more extra minutes because you missed. Her fault. Okay. Right. How many of you have seen this movie? It's called Jailer. Tamil movie, acting like pan India. No, only Charanas. You have not had the misfortune of seeing this movie. Unfortunate. So you know, Jailer. Yeah. What are you all doing? Like timer, you also forgot to answer. Yeah. Do you remember this scene? I'll tell you this scene, okay, and then I'll ask you what D stands for. What is happening in this scene? This is of course who is this guy? Slightly popular figure, Rajnikant, right? This guy again slightly popular in Kerala, Mohanlal, right? Okay, so Rajnikant's son has been kidnapped. By whom? By the guy who is in surveillance here, the villain. Okay, Rajnikant's son has been kidnapped by this guy. So Rajnikant takes help from his friend. It's another story. Don't ask me how a criminal is his friend. His friend, and he asks, okay, Mohanlal, I don't know where my son is. Can you help me find my son? So Mohanlal says, hey, you know what? I don't know where your son is, but I know where the kidnapper is. Say yes now, I'll kill the kidnapper. One shot, he's dead. And Rajnikant gets, you don't do that. He's the only lead I have to my son. If you kill him, I can never find my son. You know how this translates to your life? Most of us do things that we can without much care about what they want. Hey, I am your father. I will tell you which cartoon you should see. Starts from there. My mom still makes upma. She says it is healthy. But I hate it. How many of you like upma? Retirement age. All of you retirement age only. Isha is the youngest old retired person in this room. If you like upma, God save you. No, but you do that, no? Because you are used to, as a parent, you do what you think or feel is right for someone else. And when you become a leader, you carry that same philosophy. But hey, it's never about what you can. It's always about what they want. Chances are, Victor doesn't need a rupee hike. He needs a promotion. Sesh doesn't care for a promotion because he's the topmost leader. I don't want to go beyond division director now. but I want to be appreciated as the President Distinguished Division Director. That is what I want for this term. Don't push me to CGD right now, example. Whereas Victor might say, I want to be the next CGD. So, but by saying, hey, no, you are the right person, go stand. You are not doing any favor at all. So, a great leader puts people first. There is a corporate term for it. It's called design thinking. It's about doing what the user wants, not doing what you can. You might have money to buy 10 LED lamp strips here. But will that solve the lighting problem in this room? No. You can have the best mic setup. Hey, nothing against whoever arranged the mic. Okay? You can set up the best mic, but the speakers here might not need that mic at all. They might have figured out that the tail of the mic is so long that it will be a logistical nightmare to use it. Don't do what you can, do what the user wants. See magic happen. But if you forget all of this, if none of this went to your head, if you can do this, people will love you. You will become their leader, not their manager anymore. And the picture on screen is something that my very good friend Selva gave in his speech, international speech once. I loved that speech. It's what I've lived all my life with the philosophy of, but until he spoke of it, I didn't realize it. So let's imagine, okay, let all of you look up at me. Look at me. Imagine it's a very hot, sunny day in Chennai. Charan, look at me. Imagine it's a hot, sunny day in Chennai. Okay? Middle of the afternoon, 12:30, 1-ish. You are not yet hungry enough for lunch, but you are thirsty. So you walk out to the nearby juice shop and you ask for a mango juice. How many of you like mango juice? Well-made mango juice, yeah? And then the shopkeeper gives you mango juice. One full mug. It looks beautiful yellow. It's just the right way it should look. You take a sip of it and you can see your grandma. You're in cloud 9. You're drinking it so smooth. It's neither too sweet, not so too sour. It's neither too cold nor too warm. It's neither too watery, not too thick. Just the perfect mango juice. You finish that jug and you keep it down fully satisfied. And then the shopkeeper comes to you and says, here, there is a little more in the mixing. And then he takes it, gives it to you. How do you feel? If you can bring that little bit extra in your life, as a person, as a leader, your friends, in your relationships, in the people you lead, if you can do that something extra, they will love you. Hey, in a world that asks for moderation, be the person that brings that little bit extra. Send that few extra text messages. Spend a few extra seconds listening to them. Ask them what is their favorite dish. Make them think, enjoy that thought. Ask them if their parents are doing well. If you have had a good day at home. If you have written that speech that you are saying you will write, you have never shared. Ask them if their meeting went well. Be there for them a little bit extra. Because hey, 100% is mandatory. No? You pay 50 rupees, you expect that full mug of juice. That's mandatory. You don't thank them. You don't even remember that shop. You come out. Say, hey, I had a great mango juice. A little bit extra. If you can bring that as a leader, people will love you. And so, yeah, you're all right. A good leader leads culture. They do. But it's not the leadership that you have known. It's the ability to look ahead. It's the ability to be emotionally intelligent. It is to ask why. It is to design think, and it is to bring that something extra. I hope it was practical enough. But if you have any questions to ask, we have 2 more minutes before I kick the timer out. You like the session? Victor, second time? Still okay? Did you do a good job?
Yeah, it's very good.
Can you give one example of design thinking that you have done in your professional life?
Every year, I am a manager at work, right? I lead about 30-40 people. I do performance appraisals. Last 3-4 years, just pre-COVID, I sucked at it because I'm usually given a kitty, 20% to sort of split across. And then in my head, even before they come into the appraisal conversation, okay, he deserves this rating, this rating, this rating. I make a list, ratings I decide. According to this rating, this much, equal to 20% should come. I went in with that. And there was always disappointment with me. No matter what you did, there was always disappointment. And then something shifted. I came across design thinking as a concept in 2020, and then the way I looked at it flipped. Very practically, what I did, that word has really impacted me. Practically what I did, I looked at the calendar. I have until January 31 to finish this process. Me being the person I am, I went until 31st. So then I planned my calendar in such a way that from 1st January to 15th January, around Pongal holidays, I did the performance appraisal meetings. I did not go in with any rating. I just let them walk in, let them speak. Some people I had thought were extraordinary performers came in, they were very humble like Sesh. They came in and said, I did well, but I think I meet expectation guy only. Some people like Victor, below medium only, I am an outstanding performer. So I let them both talk. I shut up. They spoke. And from their own points, I was able to sort of take a leaf out, give them satisfaction that they were listened to. I just listened to them. I didn't change anything about my process, but I listened to them. Once all of it got recorded, now when I gave them their ratings, only 5% dissatisfaction was there. That will always be there. And I was able to understand that somebody like Victor doesn't care about the money. He comes from a really wealthy family. 3 Mercedes Benz and 2 BMWs. Doesn't care. 1%, 2% height difference doesn't matter to him, but for Sesh, it's a matter of pride. That 0.5% is impactful. Hey, I did better than him, I should get at least 0.5. No matter how much you say secrecy, don't discuss and all, they will go and sit at the same table and they will scold you. That was one of the most important real life tweaks I did. People started loving me, man. Really, I want to love you. You're such a great leader. I didn't change, I just flipped a little bit. Basic. Now, even yesterday, my wife asked, can I make chapati and this gravy for dinner for Adya? She's my child, 7-year-old, 8-year-old. She's the only one who's going to have dinner. Both me and my wife are full. I said, go ask Adya. We went and asked Adya, and she actually said, I am also full. I don't want any lunch. Any dinner. And then all 3 of us were happy. So basic things like that, right? So ask. A lot of things happen. Thank you. But we'll stop here and chew on it. Take home whatever you can take home. All the very best, and back to you, team.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster, for showing us the art to unleash the leadership within us. You use creative elements like Bahubali to connect us to the message, and bam, you gave us some practical tips with acronyms like these. Now comes the most interesting segment, which is the table topics, where you are presented a topic and you have to speak on the fly. Now this is open to audience.